In Amsterdam, 25% of the inhabitants regularly runs as a recreational activity. In the study of this master thesis, we explored ways to make the city more attractive for them. In order to get more insight in the spatial preferences of these runners, data of 110,000 running activities were gathered through activity trackers and mapped in the city. It provided insight in the usage of public space by runners and allowed us to detect places that do not yet function as desired. In these places, possible ways to transform public space were then opposed. The Schinkel River was found as such an area, which we can see if we take a closer look at the frequency in which different pathways were used by runners. One pattern we can clearly recognize in this running behavior is that the large water sides of Amsterdam were intensely used by runners. Though, there was one exception to this rule, the canalized Schinkel River. Its edges were hardly used by any runners. The reason for this behavior becomes clear if we look in specific at runners that perform distances shorter than 5 kilometers. They actually were active at several places along the Schinkel where they were capable of making a desired route. This desire stands out from the specific shapes that these routes have. They avoid crossings with car traffic and alter in direction as soon as they run into one. This tells that only if you run very short distances, you are able to make uninterrupted routes along the Schinkel. In contrast, middle and long distance runners seem to avoid the Schinkel for their inability to do so. These data findings were further explained by the results of a series of interviews with people that had experience with running along the Schinkel. They often mentioned that busy traffic and the subsequent inability to cross busy roads were indeed the main argument for avoiding, leaving, or not liking running along the Schinkel. This conclusion directly resulted in a design challenge. Can we create the possibility to cross these roads without being interrupted? The solution was found within the bridges that support the crossing car roads. These are all similar types of bridges that have one side that is only very massive for aesthetic reasons and not for mechanic purposes. And right there is a possibility to construct a tunnel that allows runners, cyclists, and pedestrians to go underneath the road. And even though the tunnel is only present at one of the two riversides, it is possible to go in any direction, from any direction, without having to stop. As the crossings are now solved, transforming the embankments and places along the Schinkel into one connected structure for active slow traffic finally becomes an ambition that is both rewarding and achievable.